on the building. It's a true foundation. I'm holding up the blood. I'm working on the building. It's a true foundation. I'm holding up the blood. I'm working on the building. It's a true foundation. I'm holding up the blood.
My thing. Let's bring it back to the digital world.
Right.
How many how many people have we followed, and they said certain things that are they swear keep going, and I've given people some grace period, but when I see too much ratchetness from some individuals and family, you're unfollowed. They don't know that, but I don't want to see your page anymore.
And that's perfectly
so in the
fine.
digital world, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of, I'm not saying it's the same thing, but because they don't know I unfollowed them, you know what I mean? But in the, I don't know. You get what I'm saying though?
Yeah,
okay.
No, I understand. I mean, I believe that, like, and I'm not speaking to anybody completely bending or changing their rules.
Yep.
I'm just speaking to the grace that we advertise that we have.
I agree.
Like His grace is so sufficient, and all these things that we say.
Yeah,
and,
swear don't bother me either.
And we speak about understanding and all these things, and then we operate under very rigid parameters for. It don't have to be new believers. It could be any believer.
Yeah, and how could
you know what I mean?
How,
like
if you
just the
can't
judgment
tolerate
historically,
that, then how could you even be an effective witness?
Well, the thing about it is how you're going to be able to talk to people, because not everybody's going to come to you with Jesus came to save the lost. This is what he said. He came to heal the sick. If I am going against people that are sick and I'm a doctor, I understand that they're already sick. Yeah. I don't have to be blown away with the fact that you're sick. Like, you're sick. That's why I'm here.
Right.
Exactly. So like I have to be able to walk in that and walk in the fact that, all right, cool, I'm here to heal your sickness. However, it is possible that it's contagious. But it is possible that I may be triggered by something, but I don't have to live in that.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the other aspect of it is too, they're sick. Not saying your parents are.
No.
But religion can make us sick and we don't even know it.
Yes.
100%.
So we become we follow all these rules and regulations to the point where now we're just pointing out symptoms of everybody else and not pointing out our own symptoms, the things that we're dealing with. You know what I mean? So we got to be careful when we're focusing on rules and regulations and things. We got to be open to being able to, because there's Christians that live totally, we would think they're wild.
Yeah.
Like, we only focus on the little small pockets of Christianity that we've been exposed to. It's a global religion.
Right.
People in Africa, Hawaii, everybody's going to do things totally different. Like, and if you go to Jerusalem, they don't have homeless people on this, like drunk alcoholics on the streets, because they teach their children it's a proper way to do it. Right? We tell, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it. They teach, hey, here's alcohol. We do this during celebrations. This is why we do it.
Okay.
They educate their children on how to drink, how to use these things. We don't do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like a do not touch thing, and now when you touch it, it's like, oh, I'm going all in. You know what I mean? They teach in moderation.
Well, that's the thought process of That's the thought process, because all right, to you've already been condemned.
Yeah.
Because you were just told from the beginning, don't do it.
It's already a bad thing.
Right. So because it's already a bad thing, I've already chose to do it. I might as well go all the way left.
Yeah.
It's actually something I learned from my wife. My wife was like, you can realize that you were wrong at any moment. At any moment, you can realize you were wrong. You can and then do the right thing after. Like, all right, I talked about it. I've talked about it, alluded to it before, but like, all right, so like all the steps that go into like sleeping with somebody, right? Because premarital sex is a sin, just in case you didn't know. But the thing about it is, like, there's so many. There's so many different steps that you went through. Like, all right, cool. You sent her a text late night. She didn't respond to the first text. You sent the follow-up text. Then you couldn't find your keys. Then you found your keys. Then you didn't have gas. You went and you got gas. Then you made it to her house. She didn't pick up when you called. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these steps.
You got to drive safely.
All these steps happen, and at any moment you could have been like, you know what? I don't need to be doing this, and you could have went back home. But what do? Persistent. I already went out this way. I already snuck out the house. I already got the keys to the car. Like,
It's my house. I walked.
well, not right now, not today, but
Like
not
George
today. But I'm just saying, like as kids,
Moving on up.
it's different times now, right? But like just to say, like at any moment we can recognize, you know what, this was wrong. And I'm talking about sex because that's typically what it is. But like it could be stealing, it could be committing murder. Like you're about to kill somebody and decide that, you know what, I don't have to do this. I don't have to go all the way.
Yeah, just all the steps it takes to make the ultimate
Correct. Like there
wrong
was,
decision, quote unquote. I got you.
yeah.
I think when it comes to navigating social media, and it's crazy because, like you said, there's no wrong way. There's no if rights and wrong. Because I'm a pastor, but I be posting stuff with me working out. Somebody might say, "Oh man, he trying to tempt the women and doing all."
Yo.
But
they do say that, but come on
But
now.
people no.
But that is
true.
the same.
Right.
That is the same traditional.
I'm out there
Christianity.
showing my arms. Like these are things that people can
People
be
say that,
offended
right.
about. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
I get you.
I'm just on there. I'm trying to motivate some of my brothers. That's my intention. I want
Correct.
y'all to be on this. Let's get to this health tip. You know what I mean?
Right,
I want
right,
to motivate other people to
sure.
be. You know what I mean? Because I just lost. I'm happy about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
But
sure.
my wife, she's like, long as you ain't got your shirt off, showing all of that, I'm okay with it. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, don't be showing her stuff.
She like, yeah. She like, don't be showing.
One time for that's the
Next
homie,
summer
man.
we shirts off, right? Well,
Hey,
shirts
hey.
off. We are,
with your wife.
yeah, with my wife.
With your wife.
But she said, as long as you ain't
Like,
out there
the
showing
we
all
is-
of that, she don't mind.
the we is
she don't
y'all.
mind me showing exercise.
we
and stuff,
outside.
You know what I mean? But for some people, for some Christians, that can be offensive.
But
you know
that's
what I
But
mean?
that's the same thinking that was
yeah.
don't go to the
Yeah.
movies. That's the same
Yeah.
thinking that was don't play sports and all these
Right.
other
Right.
all these other things that had very little to do with anything. And I mean, like, you know, like sometimes you got to find out like what was like what the real sin is
But that's the
under the
word.
thing.
though.
And I think, but that's casting a wide net. Like I mean, like when you talk
No,
about
yeah.
when you talk about a preacher standing before a congregation, like that's why he's saying don't drink.
Right.
He can't say, well, for you could do this, and the real sin is gluttony, and your moderation and your impulse control, and you're the like he
Right,
can't
right.
like you can't you know it's fire when you sit in church and you feel a part of the message speak to you, but everything ain't for everybody.
Nope.
They said that last
Solid
week
point.
too.
So you got to be fine with. Sometimes they say things in general that just like buffet that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk past that piece. That's not for me.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And another aspect about the digital space, right, is we can listen to any pastor and anything you want to that goes along with what you want to hear.
Yeah.
That's
I think that
dangerous.
makes it
Good
makes
point.
it easier to church hop.
Yes. Church
No,
hopping
I
on
think
digital
what he's
spaces.
saying is like it gives you
It's
like
called, the Bible talks about itch in the last days. There will be itching ears, right?
Yes.
You will run to pastors that are going to please what you want to hear.
Makes
Correct.
sense.
And the internet is the perfect place for that.
Makes sense.
And go ahead.
oh nah. So like there's dag, I got a couple.
Because I have that too, right? There's certain pastors I love to hear.
Right.
And not that they're bad. I just love their style of preaching.
So I think
You know what I
about-
mean? It's not it. You know.
No, I'm
but-
with you. I'm with you. I just watched a video of Smokey Norfolk the other day because I love hearing him preach. That's just me. But the Bible talk. I think about the story of Lazarus, not Lazarus who was resurrected, but the Lazarus who was a poor man. There's a rich man and a poor man. The poor man's name is Lazarus. The rich man saw Lazarus every day and decided not to feed him. They both die. Lazarus goes to heaven. The poor man, Lazarus, the poor man goes to heaven. The rich man goes to hell. So when the rich man is in hell, there's a firmament. He can see Lazarus. So he's like, oh, give him. The story goes, or the parable goes. I don't know. It's not a parable.
It is a parable.
It is a parable? Okay. So parable goes that he says, let him dip his finger in the water to cool my tongue. So he's like, there's no way for him to get from heaven to hell. Like, there's no way that he can do that. So he's like, all right, let me go back and tell my family members that this stuff was real. Yeah. Let me go tell them. He's like, they have prophets. There's prophets that's there for them. And the reason I bring this up is because the reason why you're in the location that you're in the church that you're in, is because God placed those people there for you. Like, individually. Not to say that you can't get a word from somebody out of town, not to say you can't get a word from somebody online. However, the person that is there in your vicinity is there specifically sent for you.
Yes.
To give you a word from God, because they're going to be able to see you every day. They're going to be able to actually communicate with you and converse with you. And I understand they may not always say what you want to hear. And I've been preaching this the last couple of weeks, that, listen, there's times where God says no.
Yeah.
There's times where God says wait. There's time when God says something that doesn't actually line up with what you thought it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But it's going to work out in the end. Like, he knows exactly what you want. He knows exactly what you need. And he's planned it out meticulously. Yep. He didn't leave any pieces out.
That's the thing. Like, if people, and I mean, that's the challenge. But if people believe in God the way they say they believe in God, there's just as much love in things going your way as there is in things not.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's the hard part for people to get.
The Bible is more on the other side of that.
Oh yeah,
more suffering than the blessing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like I don't know. I think that's why I'm not overly shocked when like the average of the numbers.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, how many things you expect to go your way?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
this is why God tells us set our mind on things above and not.
Right.
But to your point, AJ, I think it's important to us for not to ever forsake the local assembly.
Correct.
Because yes, there might be some things that your preference are, right? I prefer my preacher to preach a different way, but as long as my pastor is giving me sound doctrine, no matter how he does it, I need to be able to eat that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I like to hear certain songs, right? I love Christian hip hop. I ain't gonna get
shout out to you. You sang yesterday,
bro. Don't throw that out.
Nah, bro. Nah, I ain't gonna hold you. And then,
I'm not a singer, though.
No. And I'm sorry to sidebar it.
Yeah.
But like, I'm gonna tell you the absolute truth. Like, the same song was being sung.
Yeah.
And there's no knock to how it was being presented. Because, like, you know, the singers they do their job to sing. But when you sang, bro, I cried. Like, instantly. Because I could just feel the sincerity of you not worrying about.
He cried too.
Like, yeah, you know what I mean? But I could feel the sincerity. Like, it wasn't about the notes. Nope. It was like, I could just hear you crying out.
Yeah.
And really, like,
it was a moment with me and
being
God.
connected with what you were saying. Yep. Like, I was like, oh my, like, what just that was so quick.
Rubbed his eyes immediately.
Bro, it was 2 bars. I was like, oh, it's over.
Yeah.
That was it. They sang for an hour.
I was trying to sing too, right? I said 2 bars and I broke down. I couldn't even sing anymore, bro.
Nah, that's cool.
I was like, yo, they sang for a flat 40. Bro came up there and said, yo, I ain't even gonna sing, and then did it, and I said, whoa, the onions are being shot. It was over.
But nah,
tell me why my mom's sending me it this morning. I'm like,
she recorded it?
She recorded it? She's like, I'm like, come on, mom.
I love that.
It was so sincere.
But
bro. I had to. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, that's good. That's good. But I think what I was saying was preference, though, right? Sometimes we will search these places online, different churches, because it's what we prefer, right?
Correct.
They have better singers, better worship teams, but at the end of the day, we need to never forsake the local assembly because these people can't pastor you. They can't give you counsel. They can't, have these brother prayers and things like that. So
I'm not even gonna say they can't. Like, they're gonna do their best. Like, I'm not gonna downplay anybody, but at the same time, like, God specifically place these people around you for a reason.
Yeah.
And what I like to combat with people, like, all right, cool. Like, listen, Christianity is about you and God. And if you're not getting anything from that church, maybe there's something he's trying to teach you. Maybe there's something he's trying to stretch you out. Maybe he sent you there to help them. Right. As opposed to being a part of the parishioners, maybe you're there to assist. Like, we're meant to be servants. Not to say that you have to church hop, and not to say that it's wrong to church hop. Yeah. Like, I won't even say that, all right, some places is just bad for you. Like, that's also true, but like, let's hear from God. Let's try to figure out what is God requiring of me in this moment.
Yep. I mean, I think even that goes to the gluttony conversation, and just like the conversation about gluttony versus moderation. Like, yo, I would never tell somebody just go to this church because you're a part of this church.
Right.
No.
But I would never tell somebody to overly church hop.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, are you church hopping because you didn't like what they said this Sunday?
Right.
And now you want to jump ship?
Yep.
Or are you church hopping because you feel consistently after praying about it that this is not a right fit for you, and there may be a place that you can serve that also serves you simultaneously better. That's a whole different conversation.
So I'm in my fourth church in my life, right? So I was at my grandfather's church my whole entire life, but I got saved at the age of 27. So, but I went to my familiar place. When I finally dedicated my life, I was like, okay, I was there for 3 years after I gave myself back to God, and I'm like, okay, I'm here because this is where I was born. I never chose this church. Right. So then I went to another familiar place, which is my aunt's and uncle's church, the church you were great. But because I'm like, okay, this is another familiar place, but I'm with a different crowd of people.
Right.
Stayed there for 5 years. Then I'm like, okay, now nothing bad has happened here.
Correct.
But God was like, all right, I'm taking you to a different place. I didn't leave on bad terms at
Right.
all.
But it's just like the plant. Sometimes you got to be
Yeah.
repotted.
So then I went to my new.
Great
Then I
analogy.
went to another church where I don't know anybody here, and I grew there. I was there for 5 years, but then it was once again. I never have left on bad terms.
Right.
It was like, okay, I had to meet. All right, the God is calling me, and then the next week, now I'm here at Glory House, and I don't know how long I'm gonna be here.
Right.
Let's just be honest. I'm
That's
here,
okay, though.
but it's
Right.
okay. You know what I mean? I'm here. Who knows? Maybe I'll be here to the day I die. Maybe God might have me do something. But I think how we leave though, these
Is
spaces
important, yeah.
are very important.
100%,
You know what I
for
mean? I think that's important.
Absolutely. How we leave. I also like why you left. I think why you leave is important because like, all right, cool. If you're church hopping because like you keep hearing the same message everywhere you go, maybe that message is
You're
for
running
you.
from it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. Like sometimes we just don't want to hear what they saying.
That's a
like
fact.
I heard God clear when I found out that he was like, yeah, it's time out for working 2 jobs. I heard him clear. I knew that's what he said. But I still went to go get a second job, and I got a second job. And I heard him again when he said, "All right, that's enough." So now I'm quitting. So, but like the point of what I'm saying is like sometimes we heard what God said. The problem was it didn't match with what we wanted.
Yeah.
And at that point, you have to decide who are you really serving.
Yep.
Are you trying to serve yourself or are you trying to serve God? And it may not always be exactly how we want it. It may not be how we envision it, but God is doing something. And like these online churches are cool. Don't get me wrong. Because I watch some of these churches. I like a lot of these preachers. And I like just being able to keep up with them. That's another thing.
Yeah.
I like having the access because I can keep up. I can basically get I'll go back to that. But
I like one thing about online is I like the access.
Yes.
Because like, you know, there could have been somebody that was lost in 1990
right.
and like they didn't have this access of the internet
Yeah.
to be able to see something that could have steered them in a direction that could have saved or
Right.
changed their whole
Yes.
life. And if they looked around at all the churches in their local area and they didn't feel anything spoke to them,
Yep.
imagine if they found something online. Because I had one of my friends that like for whatever reason what wasn't really serving him and his family at the time didn't really work, and he seen a church that was in a completely different space, like literal different region, part of the country, and they enjoyed that church so much that they ended up starting a life down there.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes.
So you know what I mean?
So I was
See what
going to
I'm
get to
saying?
that. The benefit of online, right? If it wasn't for online ministry, I wouldn't be where I am today.
I believe that.
Even the joint you went to in
Not just
Philly,
you.
all the stuff you
All
learned,
of that.
yeah.
It explored it expanded my whole walk in
Outlook.
Christ.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I would have never learned so much biblical. I have taken literally like apologetics classes online.
Yeah.
From different pastors that have nothing to do with any of the churches I went to, but
Right.
these were great teachers, and they're
Right.
like, you know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
that, I mean, conferences I've went to, and even, you know, different groups I have joined. Like I'm on online groups, communities that have nothing to do with my church.
No, that's
you know
right.
what I mean?
Still dope,
Apologetics community. So there is so many, and there's like different. There's even different now. Like Facebook, what do they call it?
Groups.
Like
No, not like actual social media platforms that are just like Facebook, but just for people that want to learn the Bible.
Oh, like
People on there
okay.
teaching, doing scripture. So there's so many different avenues on there where it's so good. And I love the fact that that somebody would leave in location and join that church. Because the priority is I want to be a part of that community. So I love that. You know what I mean? Because on the flip side, I've seen a pastor talk about this recently where getting to a church is the most important thing. So if they like, I want to be there and they move down there, some people will leave their home church where they got everything they needed, move across country and never go back to church.
Wow.
The opposite of that. They didn't value, because they wanted a career, right? But they didn't value the community that they had.
Right.
It was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to get this career. Next thing you know, they don't even go to church no more. You know what I mean? Because they didn't find that. They never found that. You know what I mean?
tough.
So I've seen that happen too on the flip side of that. But yeah, I thank God for the social media space, because if it wasn't for that, man, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I've met so many great Christians that I actually consider brothers.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Online, you know what I
Right.
mean, that I've never met. And then I finally went to a conference
Saw one
last
more?
year, and because we're all in the same apologetic circle.
Yeah.
So they'll be doing the classes, different things, but when a conferences happen, most of the people that are in these circles, they're like, "Yo, we're gonna go." I missed the one last week in Philly. I couldn't go.
Tell them what apologetics are, just so.
Apologetics is about defending the Christian faith. So, and the ones I really focus on are the ones that target the African American community.
Respect.
So, because that's who I am, that's and those are the things I need to defend. You know what I mean? So, questions like Christianity is the white man's religion. Like, how do I debunk that? To let them know, what do you mean? How is it a white man's religion? It started in Africa. You know what I mean?
Middle East, but it was right there.
The first guy that got saved was a black guy. He was an Ethiopian eunuch. The oldest church in the world is an Ethiopian church.
Oh, it's the Ethiopian church.
Yeah, and they were never forced to be Christians. They were not enslaved. You know what I mean? So, but these are things that I've learned over the history, and I think that's what apologetics is. But when I go to these conferences, the whole point was I get to meet a group of people that I finally I finally get to meet them, and it's fun, man. You know what I mean? It's like we already knew each other the whole time. The benefits of the digital space.
The benefits of the community. Man, it's kind of dope. I think that was a dope conversation, fellas. I think we're going to close out, but man, so many different aspects, like the loneliness versus the belonging, man.
Yeah.
There's, I think it all basically goes back down into intention as well.
Yep.
You know, what is your intention? Where are your thoughts and your beliefs, and how are you going to utilize that? We can utilize the technology to build, and we can use the technology to separate and isolate.
Right.
I think that there's a need for both. I think that's the challenge, and what I thought would be intriguing about this conversation is how we choose to use it. You know, how is it going to benefit our lives, and how are we going to best serve ourselves? And if we're believers, as we all are, you know, how are we going to use it to best serve the kingdom?
Amen.
You know, so as we always say on this pod, let's keep building.
Keep building.
Yes, sir.
I'm working on the building. It's a true foundation. I'm holding up the blood. I'm working on the building. It's a true foundation. I'm holding up the blood. I'm working on the building. It's a true foundation. I'm holding up the blood. I'm working on the building.